Right. Hopefully you will all be getting signal soonish. That is dropped a little bit down to 540 instead of 720. Obviously needs to be a multiple of 720 because Twitch. Hopefully that's better. If not, then yeah, this PC is not actually any good for streaming, so I will give up until the new year when I can actually afford some updates to this. Turns out December's a really expensive month for me, because not only is it obviously Christmas and all the purchasing and giving, but my car, weirdly, whoever bought my car, bought it on the 28th of December, which means that every year it is due for a service and MOT by the 28th of December. So, yeah. Right, let's go to the bar. There'll be some people moving there. It's the graphics card can't handle outputting at that stream resolution. Then awesome. Right, let's actually get a job this time. We don't have any cruise disruptors yet, so bounty hunting is going to be difficult. Because what happens is the bounty hunters will cruise away and you can't fire weapons while in cruise, which is a pain.
Hello. What can I do for you?
What do you have for me?
Yes, and as Nav says, the
Yeah, that's right.
don't care.
Oh, well, I work for Interspace Commerce. We run this place. Can I see your card?
Yeah, we have to show our Freelancer card everywhere we go.
Everything seems to be in order. I might have just the right mission for you.
Is it dangerous?
Don't worry about it. It'll be a breeze for you.
Right. Oh, yep, that works. Excellent, all of the frames. I'll keep these settings for all of them.
Good luck.
So we're the Liberty Police, and we're going to go after the Liberty Rogues. This dude works for Interspace Commerce. We've got a bounty hunter, Interspace Commerce, Interspace Commerce. Yeah, you get, where's my inventory? It's a Freelancer ID, but yeah, you basically a Freelancer card. You can actually unequip it as well, which is really weird. Ooh, what's this place got for sale on ships? I like to look at what ships are on offer, because some places have really good ships that are worth saving up for. So here we have a bomber, which is going to be more focused on missiles and things like that. We have a heavy fighter, which is quite fun, and a freighter, which tends to be what you get in most places. I tend to prefer the heavy fighters. You can mess around with the factions, and you can try and ally yourself. That's not the right one, it's this one. So you can see here, you have reputation with the various factions. And so depending on who you ally yourself with, your reputation will go up and down in these various sections. Strictly speaking, you generally want to ally yourself with people like the Liberty Navy, and I'll show you why when we actually get into space. Excellent. So this mission is in system. The way I tend to play this is I will go and look for a mission closest to wherever I finished the previous one.
This is Newark Station. Good luck out there.
And eventually I will be given control of my ship back. There we go.
Ships will be at the mission waypoint. Refer to the nav map for specific instructions.
Received your transmission, Cashier, Monster 19.
Right. So this is where we're heading to. And I don't remember the key to go into cruise mode. Ah, Shift W, there we go. Dotted all around the systems are these gates. And thanks for the hosts again, guys, now that we actually have frames. And yeah, so these are pretty cool. They basically accelerate your ship really, really fast in a straight line. So the whole system's very, very basically divided around these space gates, effectively. At least in a system. And then there are gates between systems as well. Hey, cat card. So we've got a waypoint out here. And yeah, I like to periodically, if I hit space, normally I'm in this mode where I steer using the mouse. If I hit space, it just kind of locks you into position. Yeah, they really need to make DLC where Nick is romanceable. The number of people who I've seen who want Nick as a romanceable companion. That's right, tab.
Hostile ships in range. We've marked them to make them easier to spot.
I'm gonna use what's left of you to grease my ship.
Really? Good luck with that, mate. Oh, wow. Okay. That, turns out I may be slightly underpowered. Oopsie.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Newark Station. Good luck out there.
There is no story here, Amos. This total conversion that I'm running to get it working on Windows 10 does not have story mode enabled. So we're automatically level 13, but our ship and guns are only about level 7, which is going to be problematic by the looks of it. I do have Legbot in here, so feel free to use !death for any time I die.
Attention all units. This is Liberty Police, Epsilon 18-3. So how are you holding up over there?
This is Epsilon 18-5. Status report. All systems normal.
This is Epsilon 18-3. All systems normal.
So what I'm actually going to do here is let's go and dock at Fort Bush, and then we'll get an autosave there.
Submitting data. Received your transmission. Liberty. Understood. Your request is granted. Proceed. 9. Our trade convoys from Detroit. We're carrying sidearms in Fort Bush.
I loved sort of the background radio chatter when I first heard it in this game. By the end of the game, you realise we are, insert phrase here, we are carrying X to place. Ooh, I look forward to Cat Card Stram. You should totally follow Cat Card on Twitch. She's another one of the streamers that I watch a lot late at night to sort of calm me down, chill out, and help me sleep. So definitely recommend. Cat Card is an awesome streamer. I can buy criminals. I may have to just switch to being a cargo runner for a bit if I can't do combat.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Fort Bush. Good flying.
Enemy ships will
We appear to be reversing out. That's quite fun.
for further details.
Throttle up. promised that we would be joined by some help-friendly ships. So let's try this again. If this fails, I will just do some cargo running for a little bit.
Enemy ships in range. We're painting them so you can ID them easily.
Mess with the Viper and you'll get the fangs.
Yeah, I don't want the fangs. Whoop. Yeah. So that mission's going to take a little while before we can actually complete that. Elite Dangerous, a lot of people say it's kind of the spiritual ancestor to Star Citizen, because I think Chris Roberts was involved in this in the early stages. Oh yeah, difficulty 16 and 17. I should have checked that.
All the news that's fit for you. This is the Colony News Service.
That so reminds me of Babylon 5. Yeah, nobody wants the fangs. It's better than greasing his ship, though. Blah. I'm not playing on the RP server, so I don't need to worry about that. Right. So I can sell them for 500 there, but I can buy them here, right. Okay, I'm going to launch to space and try that other base that's here. I may just abort that
Freelancer
mission.
Alpha 1-1. This is Fort Bush. You are cleared for launch. Good flying.
Normally the best money to be made is swapping things between
Enemy ships will be at the mission waypoint.
systems.
Refer to the nav map for specific instructions.
Acknowledged. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1.
But I do like that there are just these bases so close to each other that you just hop out of one and straight into the other. Now this place probably has some very cool ships for sale that we will never be able to afford while we do this stream. But, let's have a look-see. What have you got? We have a luxury liner, a Liberty Super Transport, that's big, or a Liberty Heavy Transport, also very big. We just got a little light fighter. Alright. What weapons have you got? That's the other limitation of ships, is they can only equip weapons of a certain capacity, so this can only take class 8 guns. Which is a little problematic. I mean, we definitely can't afford any Mark 8 guns, so... Let's see if we've got any cargo missions or something that doesn't involve shooting. Shooting... Shooting...
Someday, huh? Can I get you something?
I'm not thirsty. Actually, I heard you're a man who knows things.
First visit, eh?
Yeah.
A man who knows
You
things.
know, your rep could use a little fixing. For a small fee.
All right, I'm listening.
Sure, yeah, hack my, Yeah, I don't have that kind of
No
money.
thanks. Not really what
Come back anytime, Mr. Trent.
I never told you my name. Alright.
Hi. Help you?
Have anything for me?
First visit, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have what you're looking for, Mr.
Mr. Trent.
Oh, well, I work for Deep Space Engineering. We run this place. I might have just the right mission for you. But I understand you're currently on an assignment. Why don't you finish that one up and then come back?
Fine.
It's you again.
I know
Yes.
you got something else.
As it turns out, I do need someone for a mission.
Is it tough?
Don't worry about it. It'll be a breeze for you.
Yeah, that'll do. Difficulty 12.
That's not what I had in mind. Thanks anyway.
Got anything
It was
easier?
a pleasure, Mr. Trent. See you again. Hi. Help you?
Any action going on?
Very same voice there.
Yeah, guess so.
Well, you may be in luck. I might have just the thing, Mr.
Mr. Trent.
Oh, well, I work for Deep Space Engineering.
Yeah,
We run
you're
this place.
you're in the same
turns out
uniform
I
as the
do
guy I
need
spoke to.
someone for a
In fact, you have his voice.
Tough one.
Don't worry about it. It'll be a breeze for you.
Now that might be doable.
No dice. Sorry, I'm not interested.
It was a pleasure, Mr. Trent. See you again. Greetings. Anything I can do for you?
Oh, and the same guy again.
You're new here, aren't you?
Sure.
Oh, well, I work for Deep Space Engineering.
Ah,
We run this place. I might have just the right mission for you.
escape. Skips that, right. Alright, we'll take that.
Fine.
See if this goes any smoother.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is
I love that the doors open through your ship as well.
Good journey.
Right.
We've uploaded the mission waypoint into your nav map. Refer to it for more instructions.
That's one of the ships we could have bought. Yeah, usually they're a little more varied than that. And at least there's a different voice, or there's people working for a different company or something like that. That was just ridiculous. 3 people, same voice, same company. Right, drop out about 2.5.
You're out of your league.
Oh
We
god.
read you entering range of your target. We're pinning the ship so he'll be easy to home in on.
I'm warning you, you better stop this.
This is the mission commission. We show your target is rabbiting. Do not fail to meet your objective.
2003 nav, it's almost 13 years old.
No way you're getting to our leader.
Yeah, this is more our speed, I think. This could still be a little hairy, but... Oop. This is the combat I remember. I have to say, for an old game, it still holds up pretty well. Oh, we got him. We just need to get his flunkies now. Yeah, come on. Oh. I don't remember what the command is to reload the shields. There we go. Ooh, is that a trailer for Long Dark Story Mode? Oop. Probably want to restock on that. One thing this game does very well is it gives you the, which is great for not very good gamers like me, is it does give you the little cross to tell you where to aim when they're moving at an angle to you. Oop. Restore those. Nearly there. This was a surprisingly more difficult fight than I remember this game having. Right, one dude left. There we go. And then we've got an escape pod to tractor in.
Target out of range.
Ah! B! Level 14 just by tractoring in a bunch... Level 16 by tractoring in a bunch of junk.
Tractor failure. Tractor failure.
Yeah,
Tractor failure.
I am very much looking forward to Long Dark Story Mode. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. So, let us reorient and autopilot. Ranico, levels are based on your net worth. So, you basically, the more money you earn, and there we tracked it in a load of stuff that we're going to be able to flog, which is why our levels just skyrocketed. What that permits is it lets you buy ships that are of higher levels, at least in the base game. You were also locked out of certain systems in the vanilla game until you reach certain levels. Then they'd give you a mission and you would unlock.
Acknowledged. Your request to dock
In this,
Please proceed
with
to
the
dock.
modded version, I'm not entirely certain how relevant they are, other than they may still be gating off certain pieces of equipment until you reach specific levels. We're probably also going to level a couple more times from the amount we're going to get for that mission.
Our trade convoy reports out of planet Pittsburgh.
Yes, Kate's dick buck moment from Desert Bus 9 is absolutely brilliant. Her expression on that was just brilliant.
Received your transmission known as Black 16. Where are you heading?
I'm a trader from the Texas system. I'm moving scrap metal in the Colorado.
Right. So we visit our friend the commodity trader here. Now you can shop around for good prices. But here, I've just got 11 pilots that I can just sell. In fact, Fort Bush gives me a better price for them, apparently. Maybe we'll sell them at Fort Bush then, if we can get double for it. Yeah, there we go, level 20. Because we just got paid. So... effectively, yeah, the Liberty Rogues are pirates. We could get a cruise disruptor. The Wasp was the in-game basic one. You also have gun turrets, torpedo launchers, all sorts of really cool stuff. And the mines were pretty awesome as well. I don't think we have a missile slot on this. Because missiles were very, very useful. Yeah. I love the sound of this Exachix Kitsune. When I read your name, it's not a problem. Trying to say that out loud is, yeah. Let's unequip and sell that flashpoint. That gives us 90,000 credits. And we will upgrade that with the Garand. So that's just going to be a slower fire rate than the flashpoint. So the refire rate 8.33, refire rate only 4 on this, but massively more hull damage per shot. So we'll just mount one of those for now. And then we'll nip across to Fort Bush to sell those prisoners for lots of money.
-1, this is Baltimore Shipyard. Everything's go for launch. Good journey.
Where's Fort Bush hiding? There.
Dock.
Yes, I can see Zixist would enjoy hearing that.
Understood. Your request is granted. Proceed. 10. Yellow 16. Where are you heading?
We're on a trade mission from Norfolk Shipyard. We're moving H fuel to the Gulf.
Hello, sir. I hear you buy pilots. Here, have some pilots. Level 21, there we go. Just from selling some mans. And we now have 137, which means we can buy a heavy flashpoint. There we go. So just upgrading our guns ever so slightly as we go. I still think we'll be looking for fairly low difficulty level stuff, just because of how weak our ship is. I think we need about 1 million to get the next level fighter, really. Let's have a look. Liberty Police. We run this place.
Need some help?
Have anything?
New here, stranger?
That is an epic tash.
I see. I work with the Liberty Police. This is our base.
Oh, it's
I
their
might have
base.
a proposition for you.
Hazardous.
I'm just going to skip that. What else we got? Difficulty level 12. That's probably still more what we're after. Ah, excellent. That's going to pop us down there, which is where I wanted to go anyway. Oh, that clipping. That's not necessarily the game's fault. Because what you'll see on a lot of these bases is they'll have 1 or 2 set docking points. That's very, very clear over here on the shipyard. There's just 2 docking ports, which we docked in. There's one either side of this central hub thing. Bases like this didn't have a lot. So what a lot of modders do is they just add docking ports all over, which means you kind of end up docking in really weird places sometimes.
Incoming armored transport convoy. This is Fort Bush. You are now in range. Identify yourself.
This is Liberty Police, Gamma 11, submitting data.
Ah. F and G for those, right. And then B for the tractor beam. You can see just off here one of the inter-system gates. We'll get over to that eventually. The reason I want to come here, if I remember rightly, this is where we find Norfolk Shipyard. Yes. Norfolk Shipyard and Battleship Missouri. Norfolk Shipyard is the place to usually come and get decent fighters. And You know I said earlier on that you really want to stay on the side of the Liberty Navy? This is why. Later in the game, these show up to help you. Oh yeah, I forgot about the traffic jams at some stations. You would literally be in a line of 3 or 4 freighters, and then they would park you, and you'd have to wait for all of them to dock and go through all the such and such, you are cleared to dock and all of that. Which was a little bit annoying. But yeah, the ship design, and actually some of the ships as well that the modders came up with for this look really good. They've really figured out the in-universe style. And they just look really, really nice.
I'm gonna use what's left of you to grease my ship.
Hostile ships in range. We've marked them to make them easier to spot.
Just what I needed. I could use the assist.
Ah, thank you. Whee! I love that they still do that. That used to be one of my favourite tactics, because they tend to just rush straight at you. We should let them do it and just drop a mine behind you. And then they just run straight into it. Yeah, the upgraded weapons definitely helping. You can see though we are blowing through our energy quite quickly now with the upgraded weapons, which is usually a reason to upgrade the ship. I think our cargo bay is now full. Oop. Suck in some more shields. It's the good thing, they always tend to drop shields and nanobots. Boom.
You did it. The area is clear. Well done. Mission Commission signing off.
Right, where was Norfolk Shipyard? Let's go dock. So we now have 80,000 credits. A bunch of other stuff we can sell. We know these guys are good for a couple of thousand. Yep. That's another nice little touch, is that all of the ships are all individually named, so when you're fighting all these rogues, they all have names, and they are usually stupid stuff like Steve and Barry, which does take the edge off of it ever so slightly.
Acknowledged. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 2. Incoming Liberty Freighter convoy. This is Battleship Missouri. You're now in scanner range. Transmit your ID code and designation.
And yeah, I mean, you think about this. This is a 2003 game. There's a few little rough things. There's some very obviously low polygon stuff in a few places, but generally speaking, it holds up pretty well.
This is Battleship Missouri. It's Super Transport Trader.
What ships do you have, sir? You have a repair ship. Ooh, there we go. The Liberty gunboat. For 38 million. But that'll be a big ship, and the passenger liner as well, which is pretty epic. And a repair ship, right. What price will you give me for these things? Ooh, yay. This is a nice touch as well, that it does tell you, say, these are green, so if I wanted to buy them here, and then I can make a very small profit. Toxic waste, the base sells this, so that's the best price I could get for it. these things, it's not a great price, but it'll do. And some consumer goods, I could get $1 more at Newark Station for it. Yeah. Right. Have you got anything worth buying for my ship? Yeah, the unguided missile catapult is pretty good. Probably worth getting a cruise disruptor.
Loaded into cargo hold.
Loaded into cargo hold. Right. Let's nip across to the battleship. Because if I remember rightly, it's not the shipyard that has the good ships. It's the battleship. It's the battleship that has the good ships. And again, look, you can see the. This is one of the touches I like. You've got one of the battleships under construction in there. Alright, let's dock with the battleship.
Roger that. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1.
Yeah, it's a very simplified trading system because the prices don't fluctuate. They're usually always fixed at that price. But yeah, it saves you having to write out everything as you go, which is pretty cool. Obviously, some people like the difficulty on those sort of systems. Certainly, I would imagine something like Star Citizen, you would want a bit more structure and how things work. Hey, here we go. These were the top-end ships to buy to do the final missions of the game. And the Liberator was a good... That was kind of the second ship you tended to save up for. So, yeah. I don't quite know why the price for that is as compressed as it is. I think the ones are very small. But yeah, heavy fighters was usually the way to go in this game. You could run freighters with the turrets. You could get quite a few.
-1. This is Battleship Missouri. Good journey. This is Battleship Missouri. Cargo transport convoy. Please submit your designation.
Oh, we kind of popped out the end. Right. Map is F6. There we go.
We're on a trade mission from the California system. We're moving H fuel to the Texas system.
We want to go here, West Point.
Dock.
Yeah. That used to be the fun bit of working your way through a set of systems to find the heavy weapon ships so you could upgrade. You'd saved up and it's like, right, I know it must probably be in the next system or the system after that. I'm trying to guess which system it's in.
Trade lane disrupted.
Oh, hello. This happens from time to time. Normally, what happens then is you get raided by pirates. Fortunately, at the moment, we are not wanted by the rogues, so we can run away. I'm not even going to stop to help these other people, I'm just running. But yes, that's a common occurrence in systems. You'll just be in one of these trade lanes and the pirates will disrupt it.
Dock.
Yeah. And definitely once you hit the latter missions with the nomads, trying to do that in a freighter was not very good. You really needed a heavy fighter just to be able to bring the just sort of bring as much weaponry as you could and have the whole capacity to survive.
Understood. Your request is granted. Proceed 12. This is West Point Academy to Armored Transport Convoy. Identify yourself. This is
Right, let's see what they've got here for us. Trying to sort of do a brief tour of this system, and then we'll see if we can get into another system. 13. That'll get us enemies with the Liberty Rogues.
Hello.
That'll do nicely. Difficulty 12, reward 71,000. Oh, destroy the large space station. We can't actually do that because we haven't got any weapons that can do that at the moment.
Hello. What you need?
Have anything for me?
But yeah, look, a lady. One of the cool things about this game as well is that the secondary main character who gave you most of your quests was Junko Zane, who was a really badass lady pilot. And yeah, she was just very, very cool. I was like, why can't we play as her? I don't want to play as Steve.
All the news that's fit for you. This.
Sorry, I just like that news jingle. Yeah, so we will try this one then. Yeah, they do all awkwardly sit alone so that you can come and join them. Ah, back there. That's fair enough.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is West Point Academy. Good luck out there.
Where did we come out from? Oh, we came out one of those.
Will be at the mission waypoint. See the nav map for further details.
This is Navy Sigma 10.
Transmission received. Needing Sigma 10.
Yeah, the news was really good as you got into more and more trouble and started actually having an impact on the galaxy, which is really cool. Now there is a couple of planets up in the debris field that might be worth a visit. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's nice to think that I'm probably the top streamer for Freelancer right now. Yeah, the Eagle and the Anubis were very good fighters. But yeah, I remember early on in the game really saving up to get that Avenger. Because that was the first very heavy fighter that you were allowed to get. Because I switched almost to heavy fighter almost immediately as soon as I could. But yeah, getting a very heavy was really nice in this game. Because so many of the missions are just go here, destroy X, shoot this many mans. Yeah, freighters were alright, but really a fighter was what you needed. You didn't worry too much about the cargo space. You made a bit of extra money on top of the bounties.
Enemy ships in range. We're painting them so you can ID them easily.
Mess with the Viper, and you'll get the fangs.
Well, I know. One of the great things about this game was the really close ship-to-ship combat. Sometimes you bounce, but you really got the feel of a dogfight in space. It's one of the things I loved. Because there's so many space games just have you sort of shooting each other from long distances, and I really enjoyed kind of the close nature of this and the way the AI controlled. It was a little bit rudimentary, but at the same time pretty awesome. Ooh, running out of power. It's always a challenge when you've got guns that are too powerful for a small ship. Boom.
You did it. The area is clear. Well done. Mission Commission signing off.
So there's a bunch of stuff that I can't pick up because only other Twitch streamer to have done Freelancer. Awesome. Right. I might have to do some more of it because I'm remembering just how much fun I had with this game, and it is a lot. Now, one thing you haven't seen me do yet, you obviously seen me in free flight, go to and dock are kind of the autopilot modes. Formation is also really cool. So you've seen, like, you get the freighter formations and stuff flying around. You can just pick one of those and hit the formation button, and you'll just fly on their patrol path for a bit. So we'll go there. And I love the effect you can see where you see ships coming in and out of these kind of hyperspace gates. They've got that effect around them. Yeah, I was surprised it was still in the Twitch database, to be honest.
Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1.
Oop. Sell some more mans. Ooh. Pop to Baltimore Shipmore and get a load for that. And that. Awesome, right. We'll do that, and then we'll, level 24, and then we'll system hop.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Battleship Missouri. You are cleared for launch. Good luck out there. Incoming freighter convoy.
Oh, Norfolk ship, that'll do.
Roger that. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1. Universal Flight 8. Submitting data. Transmission received. Universal Flight 8. Where are you heading? We're on a trade mission for West Point Academy. We're moving water to Baltimore Shipyard.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the games for watch and play are sort of a special category unto themselves. Though I would really love Pepsi to bring Pepsi Man back as a mobile game. There we go, so we're getting there. Level 25, just based on our monetary assets. I mean, we still can't afford a decent ship, but, you know, we're getting there. We are what? A quarter of the way there?
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Norfolk Shipyard. Good luck out there.
Yep. So where we will go now is this one. Let's go to Texas. Actually, no, let's not go to Texas. Texas is a... Let's go this way. Let's actually go to the first system that opens up after you get out of this system. Well, we'll go to Texas eventually, Cam. I hear it's not quite so bad. Because I remembered which system actually opens up first. And that's why I want to come there. Because we're going to go to Colorado. Because that's part of what I'm aiming to do, is just a little bit of a tour of some of the sites. Because there's some really pretty systems when you get deeper into this. The asteroid fields don't look much from outside, but they're pretty cool. Yeah, let's go to Colorado. These ones also make me think of Babylon 5 a bit. Can't think why they make me think of Babylon 5, because they're more like the wormhole from Deep Space Nine, but... Here we go in the Colorado system. And all you ever get when you warp into a new system is just the trade lanes. We'll see, you always seem to warp somewhere else. Let's have a look. Planet Denver. Pueblo Station. Let's go to Denver. The thing I haven't shown you is, this is just the system map, of which, you know, we've barely uncovered. You can see the capitals here. Omicron Lost is one of the mission systems. New London is out in Breton space. New Berlin obviously is the Rhineland or whatever they were called. The middle bit is Space America, basically. You do get a galaxy map as well, which is quite fun. But yeah, eventually you will fill in this whole sector. It's something like... what the original game was 40 star systems in total. And I think this mod has added at least that again. Let's go to Planet Denver.
Your request to land is granted. Proceed to land.
I hope our cargo hold full of consumer goods fetches a good price.
It is called Discovery Mod, Exachix. Basically I was researching ways to get Freelancer running on Windows 10. because it won't run from the disk, and there's a lot of issues with getting it to run on widescreen monitors and things like that. I was doing some reading and somebody said Discovery mod, you just install it and it runs on Windows 10, no problem at all. And they were right. So here we go, welcome to Denver. Let's see what ships they've got for sale. Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, that black one's quite fun. The Havoc Bomber. That's pretty sweet. I mean, it's 6 million, but it's sweet. We also have the Rock. These are all absolutely 100% modded in ships. But this is very similar in style to a lot of the other ships. And then we have this, which is a super heavy fighter, but frankly, no. It looked like a Viper collided with an X-Wing and some kind of repair robot. Let's see what the mission difficulties are like around these parts. We might have to go back a little bit until we can afford a ship. Ooh, yeah. I'm not risking anything that dangerous just yet. So we need to go back to New York, unfortunately. But I thought I'd at least show you this system because it's really nice. But yeah, this seems to be one of the things. I remember back in the day when I was really into this, somebody did a Star Wars Total Conversion mod, and I think it's still out there. I found one that was very similar, but I couldn't get that to run. Yeah, we want to go back to New York. So yeah, I was. That was really awesome. You sort of started out in small, expanded universe type fighters, and ended up with super star destroyers and stuff that just had like 200 turrets on them or something absurd. There's been stuff like there was a Stargate Total Conversion that added all the Stargate ships. There was another one that just added ships from every possible sci-fi universe they could think of. So you genuinely, in this game, if you were running it, could try and do a Star Destroyer versus the Enterprise, if you wanted to. There was even a Battlestar Galactica one as well. That was obviously a few years down the line, because this came out well before Battlestar Galactica. That was 2006. But yeah, the modding community behind this was incredible. And the number of mods that are still active, the only limitation for me was purely getting this running under Windows 10. Apparently if you've got anything under Windows 10, this game still runs absolutely fine. That white flash is the loading between systems, which is pretty impressive. I mean, obviously this is on a modern machine now, but even so. Yeah, I remember in the Star Wars mod I picked up a Headhunter fairly early on, and it lasted me for ages. It was really, really good. And I mean, the engine still works really well. Yeah, ties against Cylons versus Fed runabouts is, yeah. There's been some really cool stuff for this game. Let's go to Pittsburgh. I know it's not pronounced Pittsburgh. Or is it? I don't know. I struggle with American place name pronunciations because I look at a piece of paper and I see the word Kansas, and then I see the state next to it that is Kansas with an AR on the front. But then I will admit I live in a place where we do have some weird pronunciations as well. For instance, Norfolk, which isn't far from where I live, has a place up on the coast that is spelled Happysburg, and we pronounce it Haysborough. So, you know, we can't really complain.
Understood. Your request to land is granted. Proceed to land.
Yeah. Worcestershire. Oh, I forgot about the mining planets. This looks exactly like something that Hats as Carl Catan would encounter. Have a heavy tanker. It's a shame you can't zoom these out. You can tell that the game wasn't designed for you to be able to fly ships of this size, but modders put them in anyway, because it's awesome to be able to fly around in giant ships. Anyway, we need to go to the bar. Let's try this. There's little touches as well. There goes OBS. It's because OBS froze for a second there. There's little touches in this game that you may not notice. Oh, we've got to go the long way around, okay.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Planet Pittsburgh. Planetary docking cleared. Good luck out there.
Enemy ships will be at the mission waypoint. Refer to the nav map for specific instructions.
What was I saying? No, gone. I got confused by Twitch freezing, and now I've forgotten what I was going to say. But yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, that's one I assumed would be pronounced something like Eskimo, and it's not. My favourite British place name is, I forget exactly where it is in Britain. It's Torpenhow Hill, which is 4 words for hill. In Anglo-Saxon, Norse, something else, and obviously English, hill. So we just got called Hill, and then the next people came along and called it Hill, and the next people, oh, It's hill, 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 and so on. Because, you know, it's the old grab a native and ask them what it's called.
Hostile ships in range. We've marked them to make them easier to spot.
I'm gonna use what's left of you to grease my ship.
Really?
Shield failed. Shield restored.
Do you think he'll be doing much ship greasing? Let's let the batteries recharge there. Yeah, so the yellow bar is battery power, which if you kind of shoot too much, you drain your batteries off and you can't shoot anymore. I love flying through debris clouds. Ah, yes. Shoot this man's.
Good job, but you're not done yet. There are more hostiles at the next waypoint.
More? Ooh, okay. I need to play some of the X games. I've got them all. I played X3, the original one, not the expand-alone thingy that was then like a remake as well. I never got very far into it because it's a little bit like I was struggling with when I was playing Elite Dangerous, which is something I definitely can't stream. It runs, but I don't think I can stream it. In that you are very much, because there's no single player, you are just plunged into it and expected to just figure out what to do. And I found it very, very difficult to get going. And the few times I did, I usually ended up dying very, very quickly.
Tractor failure.
Sorry, focusing on shooting this man. I mean, I did enjoy the concept of the games. It was just, I always struggled for direction initially. And it's the same thing in Elite Dangerous. I just started warping out with Elite Dangerous without really having a goal or knowing what sort of missions were suitable for my ship or anything like that. And so usually I'd end up accepting some kind of bounty mission, getting absolutely wrecked, and then not having anywhere to go, or not having enough money to actually repair the ship and needing to restart.
You did it. The area is clear. Well done. Mission Commission signing off.
Hey, Red. Set some waypoints.
Dock.
But yeah, they're giant sandbox games, and I find Elite Dangerous a little easier because obviously having watched Hats play it, I know what my end goal is, which is to get one of those explorers and just take a trip to the other side of the galaxy, because that just seems like the most amount of fun you can have in that game. But yeah, the thing I found with it was, again, the early stages of I don't really know what my ship is capable of, and so the very first thing I did was I warped to the next system to where I started. And the problem I immediately had was my ship was A, not fuel scoop equipped, and B, not really equipped to come out as close to the star as it did. Which was a problem. And it took me a very long time to get away from the star and get back, and now I've lost nearly all of my starting credits just repairing and refueling the ship from that first attempted leap. I'm actually going to cancel those waypoints and go to Fort Bush.
Dock.
Initiating trade lane sequence.
Acknowledged. Your request is granted. Proceed. 9.
So yeah, I haven't really been back into Elite since I did that. I need to, because I want to have a play around with it, but that was a very weird sort of first experience of, oh awesome, I can jump between systems, and then I accidentally jumped into a giant star. Yeah, I mean, just figuring out how to fly in Elite took me a long time. The takeoff was fairly easy because there was a tutorial for that. I forgot to do the landing tutorial video and exercise, so figuring out how to land, particularly with a very badly damaged ship, was tricky, to say the least. But I think I'll pick it up fairly quickly, and I think there's some fun to be had in it. But yeah, there's definitely a few bits where it could definitely do with a more guided tutorial of, rather than just dumping you into the free play, of actually giving you some stuff to do, and give you a little bit of a tutorial mission, some sense of achievement. Because also as well, I think it would help you gauge that starting ship better, so you know, they give you a defeatable set of combat roles and things like that. You know, you get a mercenary mission, you get a trade mission.
Acknowledged. Your request is granted. Please proceed. 3.
I mean, there is, at least for Elite now, there is tutorial missions in that there's these little standalone sandbox environments that get you to try out a few things, like I did the combat one. It was pretty miserable trying to figure out how combat works. But their initial set appeared to be just, here, watch this YouTube video. Which is really great, except that the YouTube video is like, you have pitch and roll and yaw. And they don't tell you what the bloody buttons for them are. And it's like, so to go forward, you need to accelerate. Great. Which key does the acceleration? And it's just all that kind of layer of stuff. You know, the standard stuff that you kind of, admittedly for a lot of games now, they don't bother telling you WAS and D, space for jump, C for crouch. That's often not put into a game. But for space games, particularly ones as complex a simulation as Elite, you need to know the basic controls. Case in point, although this didn't have a tutorial, because this is a game that came with a manual, and on the back is a nice handy reference guide. That probably doesn't work. Let's come to this one. All my key bindings that I need to know. And yeah, this is a 40-page manual for a video game. When was the last time you had a manual with a video game? It's brilliant. It's really... I was feeling really nostalgic. The only thing that didn't hit my nostalgia vibe is because of the Sekirom-esque stuff in this game. There was no need to input a CD key. I felt a little bit miffed by that. Um, hey, we're halfway to a big ship. And we've dinged up to level 29 already. And we'll save the game there. Yeah. But yes, Discovery Freelancer is the mod, and they're up to version 88 at the moment. I'm going to call it there because it's nearly the end of my stream. I know we had a lot of lost time at the beginning with faffing around trying to get the stream actually working, but we seem to have sorted it now. That's a lot of fun. I think I'll probably do a bit more of that. See if I can level up and get a slightly better ship. The other game that I nearly ran until I did realise that, hang on, Chris Roberts was involved with Freelancer, and that's the brilliant tribute game. Also because I just love it. It was, of course, Star Trek Bridge Commander, which I did not buy new. I bought it pre-owned for £10 a couple of years after it was released. Focus. And this game is just amazing. I really want a modern version of this. But yeah, Star Trek, nobody cares about it anymore. As you may have seen from the new trailer, it is now just Fast and Furious in space. As it even says on the trailer. No ship, no crew. It's just James T. Kirk on a motorbike. So, yeah. But yeah, I am going to try and see if I can get some more of my retro games collection running. This is still a definite ambition. Which I paid a whole £1 for from CEX. But yeah, this one has got some real issues, and although there's patches, they're all for Windows 8, not Windows 10. Windows 10 is being a bit of a bastard about it. But yeah, Bridge Commander was amazing. Bridge Commander was also my first foray into modding. And that was a huge thing for me. Finally getting into them, because I knew about mods and I knew how to install them and had a great amount of time, because again, Bridge Commander was one of those games that had an epic modding community, because obviously there was only a few ships in the base game, and pretty much any ship that had appeared in the Trek universe, somebody had done a very, very detailed high poly model of and tried to import it into Bridge Commander. So you could have any ships you fancied, really, which was great fun. Yeah, Star Trek Excalibur has been in development for almost as long as I've been out of university. It's the same as the old Vaporware Infinity, which promised a fully dynamic universe and landable planets with seamless transitions years before Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous came along, and it's still Vaporware. They released a few videos about 3 or 4 years back, and that's all we ever saw of it. But yeah, I did only discover the Bridge Commander modding community when I got to university, which is why I have the game, because I think I had a dodgy copy of it when I was younger, and then when I got to uni I actually paid for a copy because I loved it that much, and then having broadband, it's like, I can download mods now. That was huge, because on dial-up you couldn't. But yeah, and as Hats just said, a new Star Trek game that isn't tied into the new movies is not going to happen. And the thing is if you've got a Star Trek game, you want all the old universe. You want to be able to fly all the Enterprises that you remember. You want to be able to fly the Defiant. You want to be able to fly Voyager. You don't want to be limited to just the JJ prize, which of course is now the canon. Star Wars has at least got around this somewhat. And again, I know there's many a person would love. My camera keeps focusing on the cheat. He's perfectly in focus and I'm not. Many a folk would love a new TIE fighter game or something like Bridge Commander with the Star Wars ships. Some kind of dog-fighting game with the fighter squadrons and stuff. And yeah, it's all kind of just a bit not happening. Which is a shame, because these universes have got so much depth to them. I mean, stuff like Elite Force, which I did play through the first one, and I must get Elite Force 2. There's so much depth and so much potential for games beyond just the standard stuff, and you see a little bit of that in Star Trek Online, which Admiral Memo streams, which is worth watching when he does that. It's an interesting MMO, but there's so many tantalising little hints and bits of plot and things that you just think, oh man, if only they spun it out into a game like X. But the people who run those properties aren't interested in making that sort of game. I mean, a game like Star Citizen or Freelancer in the Star Trek universe would just sell amazingly well. Don't worry about that, Jaded. I've got a few lines on some from eBay that I need to just check up on again. It's also making sure I can actually run the thing. The other game I might play at some point, because I've got a collection of 4 Trek games, which included Elite Force, and it wasn't Bridge Commander, it was the one that was a little bit similar but not as good. Starfleet Command, that's the one. I think it's Starfleet Command 3. But it also comes with Armada 1 and Armada 2, which were Star Trek based RTS games, and Armada 2 was a lot of fun. Again, another game filled with mods. Some fantastic total conversions to give you playable races like the Dominion. But yeah, turns out when I was a kid I loved a lot of game modding. Well, I say kid, teenager. And yeah, it's one of those things that I still like to do these days. I keep thinking I should load up Fallout 3 with as many mods as possible. Keep the strong ones that don't die and go from there. But yeah, so that's some plans. But it's been a lot of fun streaming Freelancer once we got it working. And as I say, a huge thank you to everybody who's watched, and a huge thank you to Landmower for all his incredible streaming that he's been doing over the past few years. And I wish him luck at university, and I look forward to consuming as much content as I can. I look forward to him returning to streaming maybe in his summer holidays or something like that. So yeah, it's been great. And yeah, I will try and do another stream next Tuesday, same time, same channel. And probably some more Freelancer, because although there was a little bit of a tour of the galaxy, that was a lot of fun. And I'd love to get to some of the bigger systems later on down the line and show you some of the really cool stuff. So yeah, catch you all on other streams. Also, while I remember, we'll be looking to start up our Firefly RPG again in the new year with another episode of that. That's myself, Jacko, Valkyrie Lemons, Red Nightmare, and Navarin. We're playing through the Firefly RPG from Margaret Weiss and having a lot of fun with it. It's a really good system. I'm also still plotting and going to figure out a date. It'll be sometime in January for something that I've been throwing together in my head for a while now, which is a mashup of some of the rounds from Mock the Week with the Trivial Pursuit game from the Technical Difficulties, which you may know them from the Citation Needed games on Tom Scott's YouTube channel. And yeah, I've got some loads of people interested, which is great, which gives us enough people to rotate around a nice cast. And yeah, hopefully run some sort of silly game show to get everybody laughing, because as far as I'm concerned, I think everybody needs to laugh, and whatever I can do to contribute to that, I look forward to doing. So yeah, I think I've said it about 5 times now, but that's everything I wanted to bumble on about and ramble. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.